What's up, guys, and welcome to another Red Pill Sunday sermon. I'm your host, Lonnie Spence, back with another Red Pill Sunday sermon. If you guys enjoy these types of videos and you want to see more, be sure to drop a like. The last Sunday sermon got 131 likes in the first 6 days. Let's see if we could beat that with this one, guys. I love and appreciate all of you guys that tune in and support my content. It inspires me to keep going, keep putting out these messages. Even though we had 6 people from my last Sunday sermon unsubscribe, I understand a lot of you guys are still waking up because I was there myself. You don't want to hear the hard red pill truths about a lot of different things. But Ecclesiastes 1:18 talks about this perfectly, and it says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." Basically, the more that you learn about the world we live in, you understand, the deeper you go down this rabbit hole of understanding everything and how it operates and your place in society that you've been born into, the more sad you get as time goes on because you have more understanding. And at the end of this rabbit hole, you realize that we're living in a society and a system that's broken and can't be fixed. I'm only here to give you guys the tools so you can make the best experience out of it. Just like Jesus says in Galatians chapter 4, verses 16, "Am I therefore your enemy because I tell you the truth?" A lot of people aren't ready to hear this truth, and they never will be, or their time just hasn't come yet. So I'm going to speak to those of you that have ears to hear and want to learn how deep this rabbit hole goes and what we can do to improve our lives in the system that we're in. So that's enough of my pre-sermon rant. We're going to dive into today's topic right now. Love you guys, even those of you that don't support me and don't want to stick around and hear this message. I still got love for you. So that's enough of my pre-sermon rant. We're going to dive into today's sermon and talk about the importance of wisdom over money. Now, I understand this goes against a lot of what we talk about here in this space, especially the big content creators that talk about being a high value man means you having a lot of money, you having a lot of materialistic assets. Now, while that is important and money is a tool that the powers that be have given value to in this society, this made up matrix that we live in, what's more important is having wisdom and understanding. If you don't have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and discernment and integrity as a man, your value monetarily doesn't matter because you'll lose it in the end. A quick example of this that you guys can relate to in pop culture is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Prince Harry has everything you can imagine. He's a royal, he's a freaking prince, he's next in line for the throne, all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have wisdom, he doesn't have a discernment, and therefore he's getting run in his relationship. He's not in charge of his relationship, and the decisions that are being made by Meghan Markle because he doesn't understand his value as a man. That also ties in with wisdom. If you don't have wisdom and understanding of the roles in a relationship, you will get walked all over and taken advantage of as a man. That is why I preach this so heavily on this channel, so that doesn't happen to you guys. I'm not saying that money doesn't matter. I'm saying that what's more important is having a wisdom and understanding because that can't be taken away. Your brain, your mind can't be taken away until you're dead. Your money always can be. You can get more money by having wisdom. All right? Always remember that. So here are some verses I'm going to talk about before you guys go on a rant about me saying that money's not important as a high value man. What's more important is your wisdom, but we'll talk about laziness first and examples of this in the Bible. Proverbs 10:4, you can follow along. This is all from the King James Version. Says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich." So if you're always not moving around, not using your hands to code, to go to work, to truck drive, whatever job that it is that you do, if your hands are idle, meaning that they're just sitting around, you're not being active and proactive with what you're doing with your time and your energy and your strength as a man, you're going to be lazy and left behind. You're not going to make any money. So the Bible does talk about being lazy as a sin. Proverbs 21:17 says, "He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich." So if you guys are constantly loving the pleasures of this world and wanting just a hedonistic lifestyle where you have boats and hoes, you have a lot of alcohol, you just want the next quick hit, you're constantly on the websites, reading it, all these different things, you're not going to get ahead in life, guys, and you're going to remain poor. The Matrix is messing up a lot of young people's dopamine hits by putting out short videos, TikTok reels, Instagram reels, all these different things in order to speed up our process, pleasure reward receptors in our brains. So we're less inclined to work hard and want to stick around to build something great, because in order to build something great, you have to start with the base level first, which is a lot of hard work, and then build your way gradually up. And a lot of times, especially with today's society, they don't want men and women building because they want the government to take control and take care of everyone. All right, we can talk about that's another time for another video. Ecclesiastes 10:18 talks about, by much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. So even if you build something up and you put your efforts into building this great empire as a man, you being lazy, you not consistently putting in the work and the energy and the efforts that are needed throughout the years, not just when you first start something, that building is going to crumble eventually because you gave up on the building blocks, the foundation of what made it so great, which was your hard work, your efforts, and your consistency. Furthermore, Proverbs 21:25-26 talks about, the desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. He coveteth greedily all day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. So being lazy will eventually kill you. You need to work in order to eat. Instead, a lot of the lazy people covet or want what their neighbor has. Keeping up with the Joneses, we hear a lot in today's society. People wanting to keep up with their next door neighbors, the people they see on Instagram, their family members, their friends, in order to put on this image and this facade, instead of working hard for themselves and building great value in whatever it is they're doing without, the inspiration of others around them or wanting what they have. Instead of coveting what someone else has, figure out how they got in that position to do what they do so that you can make that a part of your life as well. Let's continue. Proverbs 20:13 says, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. If you're constantly sleeping in, you love to take naps during the day all the time. Now, the occasional nap once in a while, yes, we need that. 30 minutes to an hour, completely understandable, especially if you're working long hours. But if you're constantly staying up till 1, 2 in the morning, watching the websites or scrolling on your phone, then waking up at 11 or 12, almost in the afternoon, the next day, you're going to be poor, guys. You're not going to achieve anything in this life. And this is what that verse is talking about. You guys can't love sleep more than you love getting to the bag. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 4 says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. What this is basically saying is, you guys need to stop making excuses for not putting in the work and the efforts and energy that you have, especially if you're a young man watching this. This is the most energy you'll have in your life. So instead of watching the websites, master, and just giving your energy to things of this world, things of the matrix, you need to channel that energy, because that is energy that you're giving away to other things, into your purpose and what you are meant to do here in this life. Just like this verse talks about the farmer that's lazy and doesn't want to plow the field when it's too cold outside and he feels sorry for himself. By the time that harvest comes around, he's not going to have any crops that he can sell, and therefore he's going to be poor, and he's not going to be able to provide for himself, or if he has a family, he's not going to be able to provide for his family. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about wisdom and the importance of wisdom and why that is more important than gold and riches in this materialistic matrix of a world we live in where it's all made up. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 11-12 says, wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is a profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So what this verse is saying is that wisdom and money are a defense. When you have wisdom, you're able to see who's being honest, who's being dishonest around you. You can see the code in the matrix. You can see who's trying to take advantage of you, who's a good person, who has integrity, and who doesn't. So you understand who to make deals with, who to trust, who to, share a life with, even if it comes down to that point. You can see through your friends. You can see the friends that are using you, the friends that aren't using you, the friends that are going up a righteous path, the friends that are working hard to build something in their life, and the ones that aren't. And through that discernment, you're able to avoid these agents of the matrix because you can see through the code. Wisdom as well, if you have some sort of skill, we'll say like if you're a computer programmer or you have some sort of editing skills, you're able to market that skill because it's always in your mind. So you can tell other people how it's done, how to create content, or how to code, and you can sell that skill, and that skill never leaves you because it's in your mind. It's not on paper. It's not just quick cash that's quickly fleeting and becoming less valuable, but it's in your mind, and your mind is always going to be with you, like I talked about earlier, until you're dead. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verses 10 says, "He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep." So money is going to never satisfy you guys. There's always going to be someone out there that has more money than you, more materialistic, coded matrix things in this world than you. So you loving these things and comparing yourself to these other people around you, where you think you're supposed to be based on what the matrix is telling you and displaying on your Instagram feed or online with these fake made up puppeteers of celebrities. Oh, I should be like so-and-so because he's my age and look at how much money he has. Look at the car he drives. Look at where he lives. Guys, that's going to lead you down a road of destruction, jealousy, envy, and you're not going to focus on what you can do to become better as a man. You're just always going to be comparing yourself and pouring out, once again, the energy that it was supposed to be used for your purpose into mindless things. And when the verse says, "The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep," when you're working hard, when you're on your purpose, when you have tunnel vision, you're zoned in on what you're supposed to do in this life, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of that tunnel because you're so focused on what needs to be done for you and you alone. You're not going to compare yourself to, what it talks about here, the abundance of the rich. You're working hard on what you're supposed to do and you're being consistent with it. So you don't even have time to spend worrying about other people. Furthermore, Proverbs chapter 28 verses 6 says, "Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich." Proverbs 20:15 says, "There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel." So if you're able to understand the wisdom that we talk about here on this channel, what you see in these scriptures, and then present that information to other people, now that you have the understanding and discernment through learning these things yourself and going through life's trials, you're going to save other people a headache and you're going to bless them. You're going to give them the wisdom that you know, and sharing that information is more precious than having a multitude of things, but just keeping it all to yourself and hoarding that information. There's a lot of you guys that have talents out there that you guys aren't afraid to put it to work. You guys don't want to put in the work to share your information that you know to help other people. And the Bible talks about how that's greedy. That's you're not blessing others by holding on to information. Especially if you're talented and you're blessed with some sort of skill set, you should be looking at ways to bless other people with that information and that knowledge, sharing that information with them so that they can learn from you and they can have that same wisdom and that same understanding in whatever it is that you are an expert in. Relating this verse back to the channel, guys, my views have dropped significantly and I've been shadow banned since making sort of more deeper down the red pill topics and content. A lot of you guys don't want to hear this stuff, but there is a remnant of you guys that have ears to hear and want to hear this message. I'm not making as much money as I used to doing this kind of stuff, which is completely fine, because what's better to me than the gold and material possessions of this world is that you guys develop and grow as masculine men and the leaders of the next generation of society. That's like my main mission, my goal on this channel. And I don't care if I'm not making a lot of money from it or I am. If I'm making more money, God bless you. If not, you know what? I'm going to keep pushing this message out there and encouraging you guys to find your purpose. Once you find your purpose, be able to monetize your purpose and then share that information with other people to make the world a better place. That's my main goal. That brings me more satisfaction than anything. Furthermore, the final verse I want to share with you guys comes from Proverbs 11:21. It says, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." And guys, you have to understand, you are a remnant in this world. There's not a lot of people like you that have this information. Yes, it may seem like a lot in this space that are aware of what's going on, but just understand that the world is right now, the evil forces that be are joining hand in hand, and they're going to be punished one day. But for now, you just need to understand that the world, while it turns against you, you need to remain in wisdom, remain encouraged, and keep pushing, keep fighting the good fight every single day, because that's all you can control. You can't control the outside forces that be and how the world shifts. What you can control is what you listen to, your mental dialogue to yourself, the type of work and the efforts that you put in consistently day in and day out, and using the discernment and wisdom that you have in order to make the right decisions moving forward, decisions that bring life and not death to your life. So last verse I want to share with you guys has to do with how not everyone's meant to be unplugged from the matrix. You know, the Bible talks about not casting your pearls unto swine. Not everyone's meant to receive this information, and people will call you crazy. People have called me crazy in the comment section for switching up my content, for talking about deeper topics, going deeper down the rabbit hole and more of a spiritual aspect. But you know what? They're scoffers and their ears have not been opened. So that's just on them. And you guys have to understand that you can't unplug everyone, and don't try to. You know, you can put your seeds out there, but if they're not going to grow, people aren't going to water their own seeds that you've planted by thinking deeper about what you've told them, then they're not meant to come to fruition and harvest one day. So Matthew 13:22 talks about this, and it says, "He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the world, and he becometh unfruitful." I want you guys to think about this verse in this sense. You having this information, this knowledge, you have the seeds. You're the farmer, and you're sprinkling your seeds into the world. So you're telling your friends, your family, your people that you're trying to unplug from the matrix and wake up. And a lot of times these people, because they don't have this information, they're a bed of thorns. Now, sometimes you'll get lucky, and a few seeds that you plant in a bed of thorns will grow up and sprout something beautiful, aka they receive the information that you told them, and they understand it, and they unplug from the matrix, while the majority of people will still be plugged into the matrix, still love the things of this world, not want to leave that behind, and understand the truth behind everything. And those are what it talks about here. You know, the seeds that you planted won't sprout, they'll be choked, and they'll become unfruitful. And they won't understand the deceitfulness of riches and the information that we talked about here on this video and on this channel in general. If you've made it this far in the video, please drop a like. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new and you want more content like this so you don't miss another episode. Trigger this algorithm in any way so this video gets pushed out to more young men, even young women out there in the world that are lost and confused. I want to give you guys encouragement and the tools you need to become better humans, better people moving forward in these dark times. And I just want to encourage you guys. I'm not trying to push religion on any of you guys. I just want to, give you guys sort of an absolute truth reference point, because a lot of times in this world, there's a confusion agenda being pushed around, and we have no guidance and no spiritual clarity. I love you all. Stay blessed, and I'll see you all next time.